Hi everyone, I'm Chidi and you're welcome to my tutorial again today. On today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to do this beautiful leg of mutton sleeve that you can see on the screen. If this sounds like what you'd be interested in, knowing how it is done, then stick around and let me show you how this is done. So creatives, here I have basically the tools that I will be using for this pattern. I have my marker pen, my pencil, my pattern master, and the tape. The pattern master has other things included there. As you can see, the armhole curve and the rest on the pattern master. So just come with me as I show you how to achieve this beautiful sleeve. I am going to start this from scratch. What I mean by scratch is I'm going to first of all make a basic sleeve, and after the basic sleeve I will now be altering it to the leg of mutton sleeve. I'm doing this basically because of the question that I got in one of my tutorials. As we go on, I will tell you what I mean. So here I've marked 1 inch on that border, just a starting point. Okay, just to mark my starting point. Here I'm marking my biceps, that is 5.5 inches from the line that I just made earlier. Also using my pattern master, I am drawing this line. Okay, be attentive and you will understand everything that I am going to do. Here I am about getting the midpoint of my sleeve. The biceps there is 15 and half of it will be 7.5. I'll go ahead and mark it from the beginning of my paper there, and that is 7.5. I'm also marking 7.5 from the point I just made. I have to extend my line to the new 7.5 mark. Watch closely. I'm also marking the 7.5 at the cap, okay, because that will serve as the cap of the sleeve. Watch closely to understand. Now I'm going ahead to measure the length of my sleeve, and that is 22 inches. Feel free to make your length anyhow you want it. Choose the length of your choice. Mine is 22 inches, more like a basic long sleeve. And that is the line I marked there. I will also go ahead and mark the middle, which is 7.5. Okay. So I'll be connecting this middle points. I hope you're understanding what I'm doing. I'll be connecting these points just as you can see me do. I'll also connect to the cap. Beautiful. Now I'm drawing a diagonal line. Okay, but before I do that, I have to mention a few things. This is my elbow level, okay, at 12 inches from the cap. So normally there should be a dart there, but I don't want to include the dart, and that is why the hem of the sleeve is straight. Half-inch dart is supposed to be there, and if I have added it, I will also add half-inch at the hem and blend it to the hem. I hope you understand what I'm saying here, I'm doing here. So, but I did not add the half-inch on the elbow, and that is why it is running straight on the hem. Now I'm going ahead to draw this diagonal line on the cap. I'm doing this for the front and the back side of the sleeve. Okay, here I'm connecting it to the 7.5 inches I marked. I've gone ahead to write the front and the back part of the sleeve, as you can see. Now the next thing to do is to measure. I think what I got there was about 9 inches. So you divide this into 4. That will be about 2 1/4. Divide it into 4 parts. Also divide the front part of the sleeve into 4 parts. Okay, about 2 1/4 or 3/8 inches. That is what I have there after the division. Watch closely what I'm going to do here. This is a very important part. On the front part, I am going to take 3/4 inches on the first demarcation, and the second one is going to be 3/16 inches, Okay, watch closely how I'm marking this, and this one I'll mark it in 1/2 inch. Okay, the first one 3/4 inch, the second one 3/6 inch, and the third one is half. Observe how I marked it. The first two are out and the third one, which is 1/2 inch, is in. I'm using my pattern master to connect this. Watch how I am connecting this. You can also use your armhole curve. That is the armhole curve part of the pattern master that I'm using there. I'm going to do a similar thing but different measurements for the back. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm marking 5/8 inch. That is what I marked there. The next one will be 1/4, 1/4 inch, and the next one will be in 3/8. 5/8 out, 1/4 out, and 3/8 inch in. I'll use the same armhole curve that is in my pattern master to connect this points. Okay, move it till it matches the curve or the points you made, just as you can see me do. Okay, so I'm going ahead to connect it. I'll flip it over to complete the pattern of the cap. Beautiful. This upper side gives us the upper part of the sleeve, which is mainly referred to as the cap. Now I'm measuring my around hand because this is what I'll be using on the hem of the sleeve. Okay, my around hand is about 9. I'll be using 4.5 on each side. Beautiful. I shared it equally between the front and the back part of the sleeve. 4.5, 4.5. Now I'll be connecting these to my biceps line. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. Beautiful. I will also be connecting the back part. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Beautiful. So now this brings us to basically the end of the sleeve, the basic sleeve. Now I'll go ahead and cut out, and I'll be altering the sleeve to make the leg of mutton sleeve. Watch closely to see what I'm doing. It's quite easy, but you need to pay attention to be able to get this right. Okay? Beautiful. Now here I have my sleeve. I'll be folding it into half so that you see what the difference is. Because in the previous sleeve that I made, someone was asking me why I did not open up the sleeve to alter the pattern. I did not do that because basically I usually use the back part of the sleeve and make my pattern, and then I will go ahead and alter the front part when I'm about to fix it on the bodies. Now see the difference. That's just the difference between the front and the back pattern. So I use the back pattern, the back side of the sleeve, to make my pattern, and when I am done with altering the sleeve, I just trim off that small underarm difference for the front side. I hope you understand what I mean. And basically in some types of sleeve, that is really insignificant depending on the sleeve type. Now see the difference on the cap, which is basically insignificant. I really hope the person that asked me that question will watch this video to understand what I answered. Now this is how it is done. You can use the back part of your sleeve. It's mainly important when you're making something like shirts or jackets, okay? But right now, even the cap difference doesn't matter. Here I'm marking 3 inches and I'm marking another 3 inches from the previous one. I'm marking 3 inches and another 3 inches from this one. Here I am altering to the leg of mutton sleeve. Okay, I'm altering. Now see what I'm doing. Even if I decide to do this on fold, it will still be perfect. After altering it, I'll just trim off that little thing there. This one on the cap doesn't matter because the sleeve is going to be full on the cap and everything goes in and is not going to matter at all. But for the underarm curve that I'm touching right now, you can go ahead and trim it off in case you are using the back sleeve. That is, if you feel it is faster for you. But if you feel it's confusing, go ahead and open up the sleeve just as I am doing. I've marked 4.5 inches from the cap there. Okay, and I'm joining it to the 3 inches I made earlier. Okay, you remember our alteration, the leg of mutton sleeve. Now I'm connecting it to the 4.5. I marked 4.5 inches from the cap. Now I've connected it to the points I made earlier. I hope you understand. Now I'm folding again to show you that you can alter it on folded part like this. And after your alteration, you can just trim the underarm for the front side. It's as simple as that. Okay, but I'll be doing this on, I won't be doing it on fold, so for clarity's sake. But even if you choose to do it on fold, it's perfectly okay. But just use the back side of your sleeve so that when you are done, you just trim off the little curve around that underarm, just as you see me show you. Okay, so this is the fabric I'll be using. I have about 1.5 yards of fabric. Okay, it's not going into the sleeve. Part of it will be going into the top proper. Okay, so watch how I am going to alter the sleeve. I'm going to alter this basic sleeve to leg of mutton sleeve. I don't want mine to be very big. Okay, I'll be showing you how to make yours very big if you want. You just have to open it up more, spread it more if you want it to be very, very exaggerated. Okay, so right here I'm cutting open the slash lines that I drew earlier. Watch closely to understand what I am doing. So right here I am going ahead to do I'm going ahead to spread. I'm spreading it by 2 inches because I want my leg of mutton to just be a bit full on the cap, not so full. That is what I'm doing right here. Let me bring my pin so that I'll pin it down. My fan was really disturbing here. So I have to mark 2 inches from that center point. I'll go ahead and mark the 2 inches for the next part and I will spread. Okay, you can make yours 3 inches spread, 4 inches spread, 5 inches, as much as you want. The more you spread it, the fuller the leg of mutton will be. Okay, now I'm connecting the cap. As you can see, I have increased that cap by 2 inches also from where the cap is right now. Okay, that is to give that cap fullness. All right, you can spread it more, you can make it as wide as you want. It will really be very big, but I don't want mine to be that big. That's just it. Okay, feel free to spread it as much as you want. Now I'm cutting. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm adding 1/2 inch sewing allowance to the sleeve. Okay, you can see that curve in front. It's not really that curved for the back. So that's what I mean by I can use the back side of my sleeve to make the pattern, and after the alteration I can just trim the little difference on the front underarm. Okay, that's the answer I gave in the previous sleeve illustration I made. Okay, so this is how this is done. Remember, you can spread it more than I just did. Okay, so now this is our leg of mutton. It's as simple as that, as easy as that. I'm going ahead to fold it over so that you see the slight difference between the front and the back pattern. Is really not much. It's slight difference. Okay, over time I have done this and I know that is It's an easy way to do it. You can start with your back pattern and trim off the little underarm difference when you were done. It's just fine. Feel free to do you. Right here, I've stitched the hem of the sleeve and I've gone ahead to close up the sleeve for the two sleeves. Okay, I've turned it over. You can add pleats to yours. You can use pleats on yours, or you use gather to form the puff. Okay, you can use pleats or gather. Watch my notches. I used one notch for the front side of the sleeve and two notches for the back part. Now, can you see that difference there? It's really very small, really. The difference is not much. So when you see me using sleeve alteration on fold, is because I know it will work. So right here, I'm trying to show you how to use it with pleats. That is if you prefer pleats, but mine, I want to run gather instead for mine. Okay, but you can also make it pleats if that is what you prefer. Right here, I've added my gather, as you can see. So right here, I've added my gather. You can see how the sleeve is looking already. You can attach on your cloth of choice. Guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel at this point, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to know each time I make a lovely tutorial. Okay, this is the end of our tutorial and I hope you like the outcome of the sleeve. I appreciate you all, my old and new subscribers, and I want to thank you especially for always stopping by. Bye. Love you all. Bye.